Have you ever wondered how to do that one thing that Jesus said we all have to learn to do? How to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. It's a pretty tall order. I'm Tom Berlin. I'm the author of Reckless Love, Jesus' Call to Love Our Neighbor. I used to think that if I learned to love God fully, then I'd learn to love my neighbor as myself. But then I noticed that Jesus taught His disciples to love other people, often people that it felt reckless to love. And in so doing, they discovered how to love God. Most of us struggle to love others who are just like us, and then Jesus calls us to love those who are different from us. Jesus appears even reckless. Rather than meet faithful Jews in the synagogue and the temple, Jesus' path took Him to outcasts, to Gentiles, Roman soldiers, people who were physically and mentally ill, and some said to be demon-possessed. Jesus' disciples watched Him debate with His detractors, be rejected by His neighbors in His hometown, deal with the rich and the powerful, and comfort the poor and the vulnerable. Rather than ridicule sinners, Jesus forgave their sins. And while others gave those with leprosy a wide berth, Jesus walked right into their villages. In Reckless Love, you'll see the places Jesus took His disciples and the people that He met when He got there. You may know Jesus' teaching, but you'll learn new lessons by observing His journey, the way it formed His first disciples, and what it teaches us today. I hope you'll join me in reading this book. There's a leader's guide and videos where some friends and I go on a journey together in this car. And you'll have a 6-week experience, a small group study. Let Jesus be your guide. Learn to be reckless in the love that you show God, others, and even yourself.
I like this book a lot, and the thing that resonated most was love. Love is the solution and the answer to a lot that's going on in our world today. Because when we don't have love or show love and kindness, it resonates as we present reckless love, which was a perfect title for this book.
What resonated with me all the way through from the first chapter to the last chapter, it was love. And each time there was the different kinds of love, which I had never thought too much about. But the more you read it, more guilty you became, because you see how you have failed in different ways that you could have helped. But it really made me think, and I'm going to pass the book on to somebody else.
Love is an action word that challenges us to cross boundaries, what I refer to as attitude barriers that involve words like I don't, I won't, I can't, especially where it involves our relations to others and God.
I think one of the things I learned is how we're all affected by our beliefs and experiences that we've had on how our feelings are toward other people and groups, and how we have to let ourselves learn about these people and learn to love and accept them.
Loving God, loving self, loving neighbor, loving the other are all integrated, which is borne out in a passage in 1 John 4:20, which talks about if you can't love the brother and sister, that you can't love God who can't be seen.
The one thing that I learned that you don't have to have great talent or great skills, but with love anybody can live. Anybody can give love. We all, I think, every day you run into situations where you can show love to people, and just by not ignoring them, talking to people, giving them the extra hand, the extra smile. Sometimes it's the little things in the long run that really count and resonate with people. And I think this is the one thing that I try to keep up with, greeting the people.
My new commitment after reading this book is I want to really work hard at overcoming some of the obstacles, to love others without the prejudices and judgment, and just to get in that van and to be more kind and patient with people. And he speaks of looking under the iceberg, which was another good analogy, because we don't get to know people that's different than us, and just to love more. We have to work at that and be more kind and patient with people who are different than us.
What I think I've learned from this is that I'm going to work really hard toward accepting people that's different than I am. And I know this is very difficult to do, but I'm going to try.
What I learned was basically to pay attention to encounters with others that make me uncomfortable. That it's probably God's way of getting me to learn how to open my heart. And I especially liked the story about your wife coming in the van with the kids, and she just told you to get on the van. And I think that sums it up. Sometimes you just have to engage the experience and come over those barriers that you have in yourself to learn how to fulfill that command to love others as ourselves.
Be love.
Be love.
Be love.
Be love.
Be love.
Love.